Ladies and gentlemen, Officer Keep It Real is in the house. Everyone's heard the story from the comedian about the convict or arrestee. Never have you heard the story from the actual cop.
I ain't scared of no po-po, call the po-po, call the po-po.
That's right. Call the popo. We did, and we got him in the studio with us. I told you at the beginning of the hour that, hey, and also I'm going to remind y'all, we don't have a winner yet for that pair of tickets to the Atlanta International Auto Show that starts this Wednesday, February 26th through March 1st, which is Sunday. So caller number 10, I'm telling you, 404-892-2703. 404-892-2703 for your chance to win that pair of tickets to the auto show starts this Wednesday. I'm going to be down there next Saturday broadcasting live, too, so I want to make sure y'all come out and say hello to me when you get to the auto show. If you win these tickets, come in and say hello. For sure, 404-892-2703. Again, but I told y'all at the top of the hour that we were going to, it's a lot of stuff going on in the news. And while I don't want to trivialize all of the incidents and things that we see in the news with police officers, police brutality, police officers like this Atlanta police officer off duty who almost scared the life out of this MARTA bus driver about some kind of road rage incident. While these things in and of themselves aren't hilarious, aren't funny, aren't things that we, at the moment it's not there, we have a guest in our studio today who has found a way to take his, 25 years in the police world and find some humor and some relief for himself and hopefully for you. And I don't know how we found him. I don't know how Simone got him in here. I don't know where he comes from. But he's been funny off the air, so we're going to see if he's funny on the air. Y'all help me in welcoming Daryl Triplett, former police officer retired in 2015 and been funny ever since. Good morning, and thank you for joining us, Daryl.
What's up, family? I appreciate you having me on, DK. I appreciate you so much, man.
I tell you, you got this all cops ain't bad, officer keep it real on your shirt. What you mean all cops ain't bad?
I was expecting a applause, clapping coming in from Simone or something, fireworks going off. I ain't get nothing. I ain't done got nothing. Hello.
Do you know he hears Simone? Let's give him some applause.
There you go. Oh, my God. I'm someone special.
Boy, Todd, I wish you could see Simone's face right now. But Daryl, in all honesty, I talked about this. Okay, before we get into that,
yes,
that
sir.
police officer, how did you go from to comedy?
Well, you know what? It's crazy because, brother always thought he was funny.
Okay.
Brother always thought he was funny, right? Standing at home in the mirror, telling jokes to my wife. She just laughing and, all that don't mean nothing. But it's crazy because there's so much tension between police, community, and rightfully so.
Right.
They don't call me Officer Keep It Real for no reason because I keeps it real. Be it either way it goes.
We'll see.
And I think that what I've always yearned for was to try to find that connection between community and police. And a lot of times the community don't look at the police as just what we are. We're just regular people.
Okay.
We just got a job to do. Now, some of you may not like it because some of y'all may want to go 65, 75, and a 25.
We only have one person in our studio who's like that.
But again, it's a delicate situation of balancing that, but it's something that is needed. It's something that's really never really been tackled before. But again, it's something that's really needed. And I love comedy. I love stand-up. I love people.
So you started out in Ohio in the sheriff's department. Mm-hmm. And after coming to Atlanta, you went to the Fulton County Sheriff's Department. You even ran for Fulton County Sheriff back in 2002.
Yep.
Clayton County, Jonesboro. I used to live down in Clayton County. I tell you what, I was not a fan of the Clayton County Police. You were down there when I was down there, and you retired as a sergeant. Mm-hmm. What brought you to retirement? Was it because it was time and you had the money saved up and you were ready, or was it because anything to do with the job itself?
It was a little bit of both. That's a good question. That's a good question. It was a little bit of both because when I came on the job, it was, fun. It was great to go out here and to help people, like to catch the bad guys. And, when I graduated academy, you couldn't told me I wasn't going to lock every bad guy up out there and be the savior of the universe.
Okay.
And then as a job transformed, and you really get to see what the job entails, a lot of it is administrative crap, like with any job. But where we went, to me, so wrong of you having these cops shooting people in the back as they're walking away or running away, walking, running, skipping, hopping, jumping. I don't give a damn.
The operative word was back. In the back.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Not a threat.
And that was sort of a I wasn't happy anymore really doing it. I wasn't really excited anymore about going to work with something like that. And I've always, like I said, I've always wanted to do comedy. And my wife and I run several different businesses. We've ran several different businesses for years. I'm smart enough to know you can't depend on a police officer's salary to make it. Live like we like to live.
Which is unfortunate.
Right.
And we'll get back to that because, when I think about what we see with police officers and the level and the quality or lack thereof of the police officers coming onto the scene now, I can't help but wonder how does pay play a role in that?
Mm-hmm.
I was always told you're paying peanuts, you get monkeys. Mm-hmm. Like this is what they said, you put a clown in charge, you got a zoo, and you got a circus. So we will get back to that part about the money. But so you were doing multiple businesses, you and your wife, and so comedy. How did comedy come up?
Well, you know what? I've always, my wife has always been a big supporter. And like I said, it's something I've always wanted to do. I've worked just about every room in Atlanta doing open mic nights. And, I was always teeter-tottering. It's crazy. I was always teeter-tottering on, do I let people know that I'm a cop? Because it changes the whole mood of the room when they come to see comedy and then there's a cop standing up there in front of them. I had this one set I did is like, how many weed smokers I got in here? And everybody go, oh, me, yeah, me. And I go, yeah, I'm a cop. And then the room just bust out with laughter, but they didn't know whether I was for real or not. But, I just always loved comedy. And I found a way to interject Officer Keep It Real into comedy and just sort of balance it out. It just sort of happened. It was just sort of meant to be.
So I'm going to tell you one of the things that I find funny when I think about it now, but I think about when we were kids. Every city I've been in America had an officer friendly that came to the school to visit. And I went to schools in Atlanta. I must say I went to majority black schools my whole life,
right.
Elementary, middle, high school, and college. And I saw that as a way of you trying to tell me something that's bad is really good. You're trying to change the dynamics for me. I was always suspicious of the police officers from a small child, just because they introduced this person to school to me as officer friendly. Now, when I look back now, I can find a lot of humor in the kids in the school and what they did. But when we come back from the break, I want to see what kind of humor you can find in situations like that. And this City of Atlanta police officer who ran out of his car, forgot his gun the first time, and then went back to get his gun to run up on his bus to talk to this MARTA driver about some kind of traffic, something. I don't know what it was, but I bet he ain't laughing now that he off duty.
I bet he ain't neither.
We'll see about that when we come back. We got a call on hold out there or no? We got Gideon on hold, so we'll get you Gideon when we come back from the break. Anybody else you want to get in on the conversation, give us a call, 404-892-2703. We got Officer Triplett in the studio with us. Daryl Triplett, well, former officer Daryl Triplett, saying all cops ain't bad. 404-892-2703 is the number. I'm the Auto Insider. It's News and Talk 1380. WAOK.
This is the Auto Insider with Daryl Killian on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
Call us at 404-892-2703 on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
20 years of automotive expertise is one call away. Call the Auto Insider at 404-892-2703. This is the Auto Insider on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
There's Larry on line 2. All right, we are back. It's the Auto Insider here on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. That's live radio, people. You got me out here screaming out through the studio. If you're just tuning in, we have a former police officer, Daryl Triplett, who has turned comedian in the studio, I know a lot of people change and switch over. We gonna find out why Daryl became a comedian. And we also gonna see if you funny too, Daryl.
Oh God!
Before we let you out of here
All
today,
right.
you know, I am a fan of comedy. My wife is always telling me you're not funny, but I saw my friends say I'm funny. I said, yeah, you're not funny, but I'm a huge fan. I follow them all, but I've heard them say, man, don't come asking me to tell a joke because I'm a comedian. So, but we're going to ask you to tell a joke today. But before we do, we're going to get Gideon. I know what Gideon got to talk about ain't funny, but let's get Gideon on. Good morning, Gideon. Thanks for calling the Auto Insider.
Sabbath blessings be unto you, my beloved brother, and to Mr. Triplett, former police officer, and, of course, to your producer, Simone. How are you on this blessed, beautiful Sabbath day?
Wonderful, brother. Wonderful. Wonderful.
You know, the question that I want to ask, does it have to do with training? Because one of the cases that there are so many that you left out was a police officer here in Griffin. Her daughter shot her in the head and left their residence here. And then, of course, we had the case of this brother who was obeying all the police officers' commands. He was a twin. His sister was a doctor, and he got out of the car. The police officer female who shot him, he had his hands up, banged the commands. Her boyfriend was in the helicopter and said, "This guy he's big, he's black."
Oh, I remember that.
I remember that.
I do remember that.
She shot him dead. I wanted to find out what happened in that case. And then, of course, we had the case of the young man who was in his own home eating ice cream, and this female officer entered his home and shot him. And, of course, the judge ended up hugging her. The family was saying they've forgiven her. All of these cases.
No. The brother said he forgave him. The mother didn't say she forgave him.
The brother, the judge,
and the brother and the judge.
Exactly.
But that mama was like, she didn't.
The mama wasn't having all that.
She didn't have all the forgiveness in her heart.
My question simply is this: what the officials say is training that causes these unwarranted murders. Would you agree or disagree? And what about Tamir Rice and him, a 12-year-old being shot while playing in a park, and there were black police officers shot him dead, 12-year-old. Is it training or is it not?
And one way you left out, Gideon, and then not you don't know if you left it out, but when I just thinking about this fresh in the news here in Atlanta was the teenager out there in Gwinnett County who had already been assaulted by one police officer. He was handcuffed, was laying on the ground on his stomach. And then another police officer runs up and kicks him in the face and put the gun to his head while he was on the ground. Now, this guy just got convicted, but he got found guilty. We're waiting to see what's going to happen to him.
Well,
he's been found guilty on all three charges. But all these are what you say, Gideon. They go back to training, I think, too.
Well, Kenneth Walker, right here in Atlanta, was laying down on the ground, handcuffed with his face down, and the wannabe police officer was traveling with the group, came up, shot him in the back of the head while he was on the ground, handcuffed on the ground.
Well,
black man.
Gideon, let me chime in just a little bit. And thank you for calling in. Thank you for your comments. And
Yes, sir.
one thing, I got to be real. And I know I've been in the game 25 years. I know a lot of great police officers out there. And to sit back and to say that these are all training related issues is bullcrap. Get in.
Keep going.
Okay. Yep. Is bullcrap because a lot of what we're seeing here, if you're talking about the Griffin shooting, now that is a sort of a family matter where the daughter shoots the mother in the head or whatever. But when you're talking about obeying the commands of police officers, when we're talking about the Tamir Rice, when you're talking about the black males that's holding their hands up and they still get shot. These are what I call just scared cops, scared of African Americans. And what I think of more than a training issue, I think it's more of a hiring issue. because when you hire from the hills of South Georgia somewhere or way North Georgia somewhere where they don't have interaction with African American community, and then they come to the big cities and they see how, they don't know we just loud just naturally. We ain't going to bust a grape in a fruit fight.
Right.
But we just loud naturally. That's just us. They don't understand, and they take that as a threat. And their only reaction that they know how to is to resort to gun. Now, that's not every police officer out there. That is few, far, and in between if we look at police encounters on a day-to-day basis. But however, it's still an issue. It's still something that we have to address. It's still something that we have to talk about and communicate with. So I call BS on the training because everyone's trained the same way. And I would say it was a training issue if you had just as many black officers doing the same mistakes as the white officers did, then maybe we could look at a training issue. But this is clearly, to me, a race and a hiring issue.
One of the things, and I don't mean disrespect to you, Daryl. I just tuned in as Daryl Triplett. He's a comedian, and we're going to get at some funny stuff, but, we cannot talk about police officers, and we can't take anything lightly, especially how it affects our community.
Sure.
But one of the things that we always said when I was growing up and when I was young and I wasn't always obeying all the rules, I felt like the people that became police officers were people who got bullied growing up, and this was their get back. Now that they got a gun and they got a badge, this was the get back. Have you seen any of that on the force?
Some of them, and we know them in the locker rooms. When you're getting ready to go to work and you're in the locker room, and this white dude drops the N word in there 150,000 times a day, you know who the racist cops are, and a lot of times as African-American officers, we let it fall on deaf ears because you got to work with that guy. You got to depend on this idiot to back you up out there on the streets. And number two, who you going to tell? Who you going to tell? Your white commander or whatever, who's probably, lives right next door to this guy. But again, you cannot talk about the shooting of African-American males without also addressing how many of African Americans kill African Americans also. Way higher number too. So we got to do a self-check within our community also. Not only with the police, but with ourselves also.
But one of the things I know we're going to get from that comment is, we live around each other, so we ain't going to kill nobody else because we're not around them. And Atlanta probably is the most segregated city I've ever been to in my life. And so the opportunity is not there. I think most of the crimes in our community are crimes of opportunity. And so if our boys and people committing these crimes had access to white folk, they'd kill them too. They just don't have access to them. Not to mention, when I go to Buckhead, it's a whole different police presence. Cameras, blue lights flashing on the corners than there are when I go to the community where I live. But when we come back, we'll let you comment on that. And Leroy, I see you out there. When we come back, we'll get you on as well. If you just tune in, we got Daryl Triplett, former police officer, 25 years, retired as a sergeant down there in Clayton County, Jonesboro. He might have given you a ticket. You want to get back, call him. 448-922-2703. It's the Auto Insider on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
Call us at 404-892-2703 on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
This is the Auto Insider with Daryl Killian on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. 20 years of automotive expertise is one call away. Call the Auto Insider at 404-892-2703. This is the Auto Insider on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
I'll make sure I say that too. All righty, we are back. It's the Auto Insider here on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. My wife just texted me, so are y'all going to talk about
cars?
Call
us at 404-892-2703 on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
Live radio. My wife just texted me, y'all going to talk about cars? I told her this is the auto show. We talk about everything automotive. So police are part of our automotive story, especially if you're a black man riding around Atlanta. You better be concerned about the police. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to talk about the obvious in the room. We just tuned in. We have Daryl Triplett. He's a comedian going on tour, been doing some spots where you might have seen him in some of the comedy clubs around Atlanta. And we're going to make sure we let you tell him about where you're going to be and so we can come see you in person.
Okay.
Maybe you wrote some of us some tickets. We might want to get back at the club.
I'm not a big ticket writer, but I have stroked a few of them.
And we
call them attitude tickets.
You work for the sheriff's department too, right? You kick some folk out of the house.
Oh man, yeah, that's the worst.
Man.
That's the worst.
Whew.
That's the worst. I'm gonna get me one of those Avalons though. You talked that up good. I was like, oh, I like everything about the Avalon.
Hey man, let me tell you something.
It got the parking assist in it and everything in there.
And you know the people can't parallel park.
Not with a dang.
You know what? If my wife wasn't about them labels, I'd buy her one. Watch my text go off in a minute. I ain't driving no Avalon. My wife, it's got to have one of them stars or one of them L's or something on it. She want to be parked up front at the valet.
I like that Avalon. That's all right.
That thing is nice. I tell you what, when I retire, I'm going to have to get me one of those. Let's get Leroy. I've been holding for a minute. Leroy might know you. Good morning, Leroy.
What's up, Leroy?
What's going on?
Oh, brother, good.
Yeah, I don't appreciate you stopping me. No.
It's all love.
Man, I got a few things. One of them, and y'all can't let me get off the phone until I tell you about when I impersonated a cop. It's extremely funny.
Man, ain't that a federal offense, man?
Well,
you know.
Okay, well, never mind.
Only if you get caught, Leroy. Only if you get caught.
So let's start off with what happened in Gwinnett County. Now, everybody who's seen the video saw what he did.
Yeah.
So him convicted, that should have happened. What kind of time he gonna get? Skeptical.
The other guy only got 6 months house arrest, 6 months of community service, and 10 years probation because he pled guilty and testified against him. So that's all. He ain't gonna see a day in jail. So we'll see about the other one. But keep going.
And that's the one I wanted to talk about, along with the system. So he pled guilty and testified against the other cop. You don't need his testimony. You got video.
Right.
So why are they cutting him the deal? You see what I'm saying? Now, what you were saying earlier, Officer Triplett, about, or do you want me to call you Officer Keep It Real?
You call me anything you want, brother. I don't give a dang.
I'll call you and say.
But we got FCC rules, Leroy. FCC rules.
Just don't call me a pig.
Can I call you and say you had the right to remain silent?
You got the right to remain silent.
No, but okay. So one of the things you had mentioned was that the community, whatever community, they don't view officers as people.
Right.
I would have to go on the opposite side of that and say, and it's not all cops, but a lot of cops, they put on the uniform and they forget they are people.
How about that?
Yeah, they forget that, y'all put on y'all pants just like we do. As a matter of fact, one time I was stopped from reading. I wasn't driving, I was reading, and pulled out my car, told I had stolen my car, and, in the end, they turned me loose only after they never asked me for my license, registration, insurance, none of that. None of that. And I'm reading. Does it look like I'm in a stolen car? I'm sitting there reading at the gas pump. You see what I'm saying? And the initial officer who said he, quote, stopped me from reading, he ended up, apologizing. But I told him, dude, I don't want that, even though I shook his hand, because I told him the same way you want to go home every night,
right.
People you pull over want to go home too.
Well, let me ask you a question, Leroy. So you're sitting there in the parking lot, wherever you are. So apparently, some way they run your tag. Your car comes back stolen. What I'm understanding?
Well, how it happened, it's on Bankhead. The cop is 2 cars in front of me. He turned into the same gas station I went to. He backed in. I pulled up to the pump. I went inside the store, got an Atlanta advertiser and a few other things, and came back out. And I'm with my cousin. He's on the phone I opened the Atlanta Advertiser, and I'm sitting there reading, and it's late, but he could absolutely did what you said, ran my plate. But when he had put us in handcuffs and put us in the back seat, he pulled up on his computer, said, see, right here, we got a stolen Cadillac out of East Point. I told him, my plate says Fulton.
Right, but was it the same plate? When he ran your tag, was it your car that was stolen?
No, it was my car.
He just looked at the car.
I mean, he just looked at the car and was like, oh, there's a Cadillac. I mean, let me tell you something, Leroy. One thing I don't do, actually two things. I don't make excuses for bad cops, and that's just that. I never have. If you're wrong, you are wrong. I don't care if you're a cop. I don't care if you're a civilian, whatever. There's a lot of cops that go out here that forget that, yes, when you put that badge and gun on, they may transform into RoboCop. Well, this ain't the movie RoboCop because bullets don't give a damn where they land, okay? They don't care where they land at. So you got to be real careful with that attitude. Now, a lot of your veteran cops, we understand that. We understand that, but you got a lot of these rookies out here that just do stupid stuff. But what I want to impress upon you, my brother, is that it's not always the police just being negative, because there are a lot of bad guys out here that do steal cars, armed robbery, carjacking, stuff like that, and then they pretend to be reading books and stuff like that when you walk up to them like, oh, ain't nothing going on here, officer. So what I'm saying is, I'm just saying you got to take each case on a case-by-case scenario.
I'll tell you what I just saw. Leroy. We're going to take a break. But just the other day on the news, a gentleman, a guy who had escaped from jail, was at a quick trip. This was just, I think, Thursday night or Friday night on the news, sitting in the car with a young lady. But the car was parked on 2 parking spaces. When the policeman saw the lady sitting in the car, and car was parked wrong, he pulled up to ask her if everything was okay because it was late at night. The guy in the passenger seat looked nervous. He happened to be an escapee from prison. They didn't even know he had escaped yet. When they got him out of the car and started questioning him, he was a career criminal, been arrested 10 times. This dude faked a seizure, fell on the ground and started convulsing and shaking on the ground to try to keep from being arrested. So, you know me, I'm from Southwest Atlanta, and I ain't trying to defend no police. Hey. But that situation, that police didn't know what to do. He had no reason to think. But this man, they had drugs in the car, drug paraphernalia in the car.
You'd be shaking the handcuffs.
So, hey man, you look like you like a suspect to me at the gas pump reading too. I'm locking you up too.
But look, they asked me for no idea, nothing. I told them, had you just asked me for that, none of this other stuff would have happened.
Yeah, but when now you know, lesson to everybody, don't sit in front of the pump reading. Get your gas and get going. I appreciate you, Leroy.
We'll talk to you, Leroy.
Hold on, man. I got to tell y'all the story, man.
Okay, well, you got to hold on. You got to go pay these bills, and I'll get you another side of the break. Don't go nowhere. Hold on. Anybody else you want to get on the conversation, 448922703. Also, let's test Daryl Triplett. Let's see if he really funny. We're going to tell us a joke before he leaves for the day.
God.
Y'all don't go away. 448922703. It's the Auto Insiders News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
This is the Auto Insider with Daryl Killian on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
Call us at 404-892-2703 on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
Auto Insider with Daryl Killian on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. Call now to speak with Daryl on anything automotive at 404-892-2703. News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
All righty, we are back. The Auto Insider here on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. If you're just tuning in, we got former officer Daryl Triplett. I'm going to start calling him, fussing at him because he has retired. He's just telling jokes about police officers now. Well, we got Daryl Triplett here in the studio with us live. So, again, thank you for coming in this morning. And you've been asking really good questions. I never going to ask these kind of questions, but we appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And so if you want to get in on the conversation, call us 448-922-2703. Also, I'm about to put Simone to the test because we got one more pair of auto show tickets to give away. So if you want to call in to win tickets to the auto show, be caller number 10 right now at 404-892-2703, and you could win a pair of tickets to the Atlanta International Auto Show going on at the Georgia World Congress Center from February 26th through March 1st. Caveat, you must have a Georgia ID, a Georgia driver's license, in order to win and claim your prizes here. So make sure you got a Georgia license. Your address has to match the information on your license to claim your tickets. But call number 10 right now. You'll win a pair of tickets to the auto show going on at Georgia World Congress Center. 404-892-2703. Daryl, we're going to go back to Leroy, because Leroy had a story that he got to tell us.
Leroy got a story he want to tell us. He ain't getting off this radio till he tell the story.
That's right. To my brother Daryl and my other brother Daryl.
I'm wondering how long it's going to take somebody to use that one. You're so old, Leroy.
You know it. I ain't running from it. But before I tell a story, I got to disagree with you a little bit on the training, because before 2000, before 9/11, of course there were police shootings that happened, but there's been, and it could be that it's just reported more now. But when, once is a mistake, twice is a trend, 3 times is a setup. The circumstances in some of these shootings are too similar for us to not acknowledge that the training. And the reason I mark it at 9/11 is because after that, starting with the police chief in New York, tons of them went over there to Israel to get training. We know what they do to the Palestinians. So, I just wanted to put that out there. Now for the story. So one night I was in the club, and this young lady, and funny enough, I had seen her and said something I can't say on the radio.
Please don't get me kicked off the radio.
Oh, no, I'm not. So, she,
we need this.
Yeah, you might want to include this on your part of your set. So she approached me and she asked me that I have some weed to sell. And I looked at her and I said, no, but my homeboy does. Let me go check. And so I left and came back. And I told her, yeah, he got it. You got your money ready? You ready? She said, yeah. And so we turned, and Daryl and my other brother Daryl, I couldn't look at her when I said this, and I'm going to say Mr. Triplett now. Mr. Triplett, have you ever grabbed somebody's arm between their elbow and shoulder, and you just feel them go limp because they done gave up?
Yeah, I've done that before.
Okay, so I grabbed her arm right there. Not hard, just, grabbed it. And I looked forward and I said, you had the right to remain silent. Anything you say can.
What you doing, the citizen's arrest?
No.
Or something you facilitated.
So check it out. She went lip like I described. And then I looked at her and I said, I'm playing.
Boy, you lucky you didn't get shot in the club.
No, she pushed me in. What? Stop playing.
What would you have done? She turned around to you and said, no, really, police, you're under arrest.
I'm playing.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was hilarious. I couldn't even look at it when I said it because I had to keep a straight face.
Well,
like I'm one of y'all.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, Leroy. And I think everybody understands it's a dangerous job out here. Whether you police or just a black man trying to go to the store to get a pack of Skittles, right? But one thing I want to impress. You talked about training in the beginning part of your conversation and how you slightly disagree, but I would say it would be a training issue, again, if all, including African-American cops, were shooting people at an alarming rate like this. Now, not to say that all white cops are doing this, because there's a lot of white cops who have turned in rogue cops, turned in racist cops, and who are just as disgusted with this as black cops are and the black community is. So there's no longer where it used to be where civilians on one side and the blue on the other. That only goes to a certain extent now, because guess what? If my partner is racist, no one's trying to catch a bullet because you want to come out here and be a racist. See, those days are over with now. So I say that it's not necessarily 100% a training issue. It is a hiring issue, and I think we really have to dig into these cops or these who want to be cops background a lot more, and you have to ask the tough questions. Where was he raised at? What does his family believe in, and all this other stuff? So you may find out some unpleasantries there that you may not want to find out, but it is what it is.
Hey, Leroy.
But to that end, in South Georgia, and it's a system issue, a justice system issue too, because there were 3 cops. One of them was Georgia State Patrol. This was in Glenn County.
God Special Police.
They put 8 shots in Caroline Smalls, and this is a white woman, in her windshield. She no longer here. She got 2 little white children that don't have a mama, and then later on, after the DA helps them get off and they go on home, one of those cops ended up killing his ex-wife and her boyfriend. And the last I heard of it, and haven't heard anything else, the justice system, whatever, the cops or whatever, were looking into whether or not other cops helped him find out where she was in order for him to do this. But he ended up killing himself. So you already know. Ain't no reason to chase it down now.
Hey, Leroy, I appreciate you. We could talk about this all day because
we could.
For every example you can pull up, I can pull up one too. But of course, I tell you what, don't be impersonating police no more. I'm gonna give them your real name.
That's just Leroy.
I'm gonna give them your government name. All right, I appreciate you, Leroy.
Thanks for calling, Leroy.
All right, bro. Let me get We got Herman been holding on for a while too. Let me get Herman if he's still there. Good morning, Herman. Thanks for calling the Auto Insider. You're on with Daryl and Daryl.
Oh, Daryl. I just wanted to comment on the post. I came through here during the Andy Young administration. Came out of Connecticut. And I think that anyone was here during that period and condemned Bloomberg for stop and frisk is just biased as they can be, because during the Andy Young administration, stop and frisk, I've seen police officers strip search young men, old men, right in front of children, drop their pants down to their knees, run up on them, pick out if there's a wet day, make them not lay on dry land, but in the mud. I thought they were so cruel here, and these are black cops. These are black cops. And for we to condemn Bloomberg for stop and frisk, I think you all are hypocrites, for that. They should have done it in a different manner in New York, but not cut it out altogether, because just too many guns in the black community now. Automatic weapons, we don't have no problem with them, because there's only less than 1% of people get killed with automatic, rifles.
Well, you know what, Herman? Hey, Herman, I hate to cut you off. We got to go to a commercial break, but I do want to say this, and I'll let you come in, Daryl, when we come back from the break. I do want to say this. White folk got way more guns than black people, and they ain't stopping and frisking white folk. When you watch the stuff on the news and somebody run in, they shoot up a club, shoot up a bar, shoot up a street, shoot up a school, it's usually white folk. So I don't care if Andy Young did it.
Yeah, we're more than us. We are. We only 13%. You got to understand that, though. Thank you, though.
Okay, I don't care if Keisha Lance Bottoms administration got people around here stopping and frisking black folk just for the sake of it. It's wrong. I don't care who does. Now, if somebody done something wrong and a situation going on, police got to do what they got to do. Right. But just walk up on somebody just because of the color of their skin and frisk them for a gun is wrong. You pull over, because I can pull up every pickup truck riding down 75, and I guarantee you they got a gun in there, and all of them ain't registered to nobody. But when we come back, Daryl,
we're going to jump into that.
Comment on that. 448-922-2703 is the number. I see you out there, Cliff and Wilson. We'll get you both after the break. It's the Auto Insider on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
This is the Auto Insider with Daryl Killian on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
Call us at 404-892-2703 on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
And And now, back to the Auto Insider with Daryl Killian on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. Call now to speak with Daryl on anything automotive at 404-892-2703. News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
Yeah, I'm the same. All righty, we are back. You're tuned into the Auto Insider here on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. We've been having fun this morning. If you have not called in, you better get your fingers together and dial and call on in. And we have former Officer Daryl Triplett in. He's a comedian, and some of the stuff he's saying funny, but if I tell you what, it's hard to get some funny stuff in, Daryl.
It is.
When we talk about cops.
Serious stuff.
Yeah. And I know Cliff and Wilson, we got you out there. Also, I want to congratulate Irwin from Jonesboro, who won the first pair of tickets to the auto show here on the Auto Insider. And then William won the second pair of tickets, William from Riverdale. So Irwin and William, y'all make sure y'all stop by and see me at the WAOK broadcast next Saturday. I'll be out there from 10 till noon. Y'all stop by and say hello when you come to the auto show.
Say what's up.
Yeah, come see me. And before I get to Cliff and Wilson, Daryl, I know you had a couple of things you wanted to jump in on with Herman's last call. Yeah,
Herman. So thanks for calling in, brother. Appreciate you. But I want to address a couple things with you. With the stop and frisk, first off, a lot of people are confused by that. That was under Giuliani, who initiated the stop and frisk, not Bloomberg. And stop and frisk at its initial stage was supposed to be a positive thing. Now, it's us as cops who sort of took that off the track. And what do I mean by that? I mean, it's us as cops who started, A, racially profiling, B, racially profiling African Americans in the community. Stop and frisk was initially started from terrorism. A lot of people don't know that. Okay. It started from terrorism, to be able to stop and frisk suspected people from terrorism and all that other good stuff.
Which some would argue would be some profiling too, because then how you going to know which person got it? But I digress.
Well, be it good, bad, or indifferent, that's where it originally started from. Now, in my personal opinion, the stop and frisk has to be still, then I guess it wouldn't be called stop and frisk, but it should still be coupled with, you have to have probable cause.
Right.
Articulable suspicion of why you're stopping and talking to this individual.
Aside from the fact that I got braids, twists, and my skin brown.
Right, and you wearing gold chains and your pants are sagging. You're going to stop someone, stop them for their pants sagging.
And then also,
pull up your damn pants.
I know one thing, you and I were talking off the break there, Herman talked about Andy Young, and I'm pretty good with my fingers here on this keyboard, Herman, and I'm looking everywhere.
Yeah.
And you, Daryl,
said Andy Young did not even support stop and frisk. He didn't initiate stop and frisk in Atlanta, so I don't know where that came up from. But
which may go back to what you said earlier. Like we asked, does it come from training or what? And you said you believe these bad cops come from hiring.
Yeah, it's hiring. You know, it would come from training if every cop did that. If every cop shot African-American males in the back while running away, then you could say, well, maybe these guys need to be retrained, right? But that is not the case, because you do not have a high number at all of African-American cops shooting African-American males in the back while they're running away, versus you talk about white cops shooting African-American males in the back, running away. It is a distinct difference.
So what Daryl thing is, it's hiring. You know, y'all go line on. They did it. You saw it in Georgia State Patrol. They hired those 30 people. Mm-hmm. They all took a test. All of them cheated on the test. All 30 of them got fired. So they happened to catch those 30. Mm-hmm. How many out there didn't get caught?
Right.
Let's go to the phone line and get Wilson. Been holding for a while. See if we can get Wilson now. Good morning, Wilson.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
How you doing, Wilson?
Yeah, I wanted to ask him something about the comedy. What level do you plan on taking it to? Because, you know, Steve Harvey took his to the level where he was sleeping in his car, and he was, you know, some days he didn't eat.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what level are you trying to take yours to?
I'm trying to take mine all the way, brother. I appreciate you asking that. I hope, knock on wood, Lord Jesus, I hope I'm a long way from sleeping in the car right now, but one never knows. But yeah, brother, yeah, I'm taking mine all the way to the top, and I think it's something that's never been done before. As far as a cop when I put together my first All Cops Ain't Back comedy show February 14th of last year, and everybody told me I was crazy. everybody told me nobody want to see a cop in a uniform telling jokes. And let me tell you something, brother. We did it at the Strand Theater in Marietta. It's a 500-seater there. We sold out about 200 to 300 seats there just on our advertising alone. And let me tell you something. We had thugs, we had cops, we had blacks, we had whites, and we had a great time there. So, what I would tell people is don't listen to people, because people are going to put their fears on you. People are going to put what they wouldn't do on you. Do your own thing and be you. That's all I could be. When I'm on stage and I'm telling these jokes, they're coming from a place of laughter and sincerity, but for real stuff too. That's just how I do my comedy. I talk about everything. I talk about everybody.
Okay, now how was you able to travel though while you was still a police officer? How was you able to travel? They just let you go when you needed to go?
I scheduled time. A lot of times, just coordinate schedules and stuff like that. A lot of my time with the community or with comedy was really. I got into it strong after I sort of left the force, and I had the free time to do it. Like I said, you have to plan these things out. This is why I tell our young youth all the time, just quit jumping all the time into stuff and not playing things out. It's all right to jump, but jump with a purpose. See, I had to have another business on the side because I knew the police department income wasn't going to be coming in like it should be. You know what I'm saying? You have to plan your stuff when you go into comedy. Just don't go into it foolishly. Because I ain't sleeping in no damn car. I can't do it.
Unless we get you that Avalon.
Unless I get the Avalon.
And can I ask you one more question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Wilson.
Do you plan on being so big where you'll be going overseas too?
Yeah, we have an international tour that is coming up at the end of the year. They're planning a 20-city national tour and a 10-city international tour. But that's going to be on my website and more to follow for that. We're still putting together the paperwork for that. Make sure the numbers are right.
You big time already. Then.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I appreciate you, bro.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for calling, Wilson. Hey, Cliff, we see you out there. Simone, keep playing the music. We got to pay bills. So before we let you out of here, though, Daryl, you're going to have to give us some kind of little. Is there any part of your set that you can give us on the air, any one or two little something that's clean enough for the FCC rules?
Well, I don't know about that. I'm blue collar all the way, baby. They might flip the switch right now.
They might turn WAOK down.
What do you call a cop with two black eyes? What do you tell a cop with two black eyes?
I don't know what you call.
Nothing. You told him twice.
44892-2703. Cliff, when we come back from the break, we'll get you. And anybody who got any questions or comments, call and get them in now while you can. It's the Auto Insider. It's News and Talk, 1380 WAOK.
Call us at 404-892-2703 on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
This is the Auto Insider with Daryl Killian on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. Automotive expertise is one call away. Call the Auto Insider at 404-892-2703. This is the Auto Insider on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
All righty, we're back at the Auto Insider here on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. We got Daryl, Triplett, former police officer in the studio with us, police officer turned comedian. He's in here doing a background check on Simone with all her traffic violations.
As we speak.
So we appreciate you. I see you still over there typing about it. So Simone, but we still got Simone here. She's still in good shape. Let's go to the phone line though and get Cliff because he's been holding for quite some time. Good morning, Cliff.
Cliff.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing, Cliff?
Hey, good show, Daryl. Tell your wife that it's good to have this type of show sometimes. So.
All right, I'll let her know.
Tell her back up a little bit.
Will do. Appreciate you, Cliff.
It's unusual to see. I think it's a good way for police to engage the community, really, through comedy and just coming out and talking on the show like this. It's a good thing. We can get perspective of some black policemen.
Yes, sir.
So it's a good thing. That's a good thing. And I like the brother that's going to be a comedian. I might even come see you myself.
Oh, come on, brother. Come on.
I might come see you myself. I'm interested. Do you do it Do you wear your uniform?
I do. It depends sometimes. If I'm doing a major show, like an hour-long set or something like that, like when I film my first comedy special, I'm in my whole get-up. We coming out there marching, dancing, everything. We going to give you a show.
Is there some way he can see that now?
Yeah.
Tell him where he can see it.
Go to www.daryltriplett.com, DARYLL, Triplett, TRIPLETT.com. On the first page, just click play. It's all over. It's all over the place.
Okay.
Amazon done picked it up. It's all over the place. We have it's been out. We had it on Amazon for about 2 weeks now. We're up to like 20-something thousand viewing streaming hours or something like that. It's just it's going. I appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Good. Like I said, I think it's a good way to engage the community.
Mm-hmm.
On a smaller scale. Too,
it's something that's never been done. To that level, and it's something that's important. Like I said, a lot of people thought I was crazy doing it. A lot of people thought that my community, African American community, would not support it, and that's just not the truth. And like I tell everybody, you don't know what the heck somebody gonna support till you get up there and try it. Even if you fall on your face, you got to at least say, at least I tried it. Now I know it ain't gonna work. And then I say you rework yourself and come back again. But thank God, I think half the people probably come to just to see, what is this crazy fool talking about?
They come for some get back. They trying to see if you the one.
Yeah, I didn't know whether I was going to get flowers thrown or cans thrown at me.
Yeah, well, you got to be a little bit crazy to be a policeman in the first place.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, Cliff.
Hey, but I had a question.
Okay.
There was a sister who she was a police captain. I think right after the Philando Castile shooting in Cincinnati or wherever it was, and she came out and she was saying, she's saying, look, you all are scared. If you shouldn't be to work if you're scared. Talking to the white coat cops and everything. She came out big time against the police.
I seen that
establishment. I don't remember her name, and I think she did the right thing. I felt that was refreshing. But I was wondering how's she doing it. They demoted her or something like that.
The last I heard, they ended up firing her.
What?
Yeah, the last I heard, they ended up firing the sister.
Wow.
And I agree with you. I think that was something that needed to be said. And I would have liked to seen a lot more officers back her up, especially brothers and sisters back her up on that. But what you got to understand is this here. This is a system that we're fighting against here. So you could say, and I tell people this all the time, you could say whatever the hell you want if you're willing to deal with the consequences behind your actions.
Yeah.
You can get on there, you can drop the N-word, you can do whatever you want. You got to deal with, that's just like the white battle rapper that dropped the N-word in the battle rapping, and the brother punched him right in the face. See, you could do whatever you want. You just got to be willing to suffer the consequences behind it. So when the sister came out and spoke, the first thing I said, I was like, kudos to her. I hope she has another source of income. Because if you're going to go out that strong, you got to know that the powers that be, they ain't, and I know ain't a correct English word. I got a high school diploma. Okay. They ain't going to like that. Okay, and they're going to do everything in their power to get you on up out there. So I commend the sister for doing it. But the last time I heard, I'd even reached out to her. I gave her my number, and I wanted to talk to the sister and see if there was some type of way that even with all of our other businesses that maybe we couldn't employ her doing something or something like that. But, it's a tough fight out there when you have sisters and brothers that speak out against the powers that be because they have control over that paycheck. And when they have control over that paycheck, they control the purse strings, and it makes it difficult. And they use her as a guinea pig to the other brothers and sisters who want to speak up. Yeah.
Hey, Cliff, I appreciate you. And I will let my wife know that you gave me a pass on the show today. But I got a couple of people who want to get on, so I want to give them a chance to get their couple cents in before we get up.
Hey, thanks, Cliff. I appreciate you, brother.
Good show.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much. Let's get Reggie been holding for a minute. Good morning, Reggie.
Hey, y'all. Great show. Love your show.
Appreciate it.
On the stop and frisk, I remember in the heart of the battle when that was happening, and I had seen people on TV in the Brooklyn area residents like that they didn't have anything wrong with it, and that's kind of my contention. There's a large, the people. I'm talking about the lady at the CVS right now, and the lady coming out. We want a little extra because, if you're at the East Point train station after dark, you're like, yeah, there's a gaggle of kids there. If you're 3:30 in the day walking down Allison Court, 4 kids. Profile, pants hanging down, the ones you see on TV knocking old ladies in the mouth and taking them. Yeah. They're walking around. One of them, if not all of them, got a pistol. Where are all these guns at? We see on the 6 o'clock news. They're not just dropping out of the sky. They're being held by people.
You're right, Rich.
If you're in North Georgia, go hardcore for crystal meth. We don't have a crystal meth problem down here. You apply, you say, well, we can't do that for the white folks, and we can't do that. I get that premise, but in fact, boots on the ground. I mean, in North Georgia, they like meth. So put a meth task force up there. We don't need one on Allison Court. We need somebody, a truant officer built into some guy. Just say, look, let me get a check. They do it in Jamaica. They don't play that gun stuff in Jamaica.
Well, let me tell you this.
Gun stuff in England. The cops say, give me a check. They pat you down. Boom, another gun off the street. And then go on about your business. It's just like saying when you're driving down this car and they do a roadblock. All we want to see is your driver's license and insurance.
Sure.
If you got that, you cool. Go on about your business.
Right. Yeah, and the roadblock is nothing more than almost a stop and frisk, too. And like I said, when stop and frisk was brought into existence, it was brought into existence to arm officers with the ability to be able and to stop and frisk on their training, on their articulable suspicion of and maybe you don't have that just yet, everything in line. But that's the reason why stop and frisk was put into place. The problem with stop and frisk becomes is when you begin to racially profile.
But again, as I was saying earlier, we are in extreme situations.
We are.
Now, so you know what I mean? I mean, bullets are flying. Kids getting shot, sitting up eating cereal. I mean, bullets are flying down here. I'm almost starting to think the Klan I'm starting to think the Klan is employing these young black boys.
I agree with you, Reggie.
Hey,
I agree with you. But at what point, here's the problem. When we take probable cause out of it, then the problem becomes, where do we draw the line?
And here's another thing, and I got to cut you guys off because we got to get a couple of people got to come up. One thing I'll say I want to add to this, Reggie, this is Daryl, the AutoNsider, is that state of Georgia, city of Atlanta, it's legal to carry a weapon. I carry my weapon most of the time. And so you can stop and frisk if you want to, but ain't no law against carrying a gun in Atlanta if you got a permit. So there will be some other pieces that will come in there. But I agree with you. I don't play with these people's kids. I got a 24-year-old son. I know some of the stuff that's going on out here with these young people. And I would like to see all of them stop and frisk too. But there's some problem with that. So I know we can't do it, but I understand your point. But with the laws we got here in Georgia, when I can carry a weapon, and it'd be really hard to.
We're not talking about the permitted people. Yeah, but those guys up and down Camilton Road,
yes,
they
sir.
Got permits.
I grew up on Camilton Road. Trust me, I know. I appreciate you, Reggie.
Thanks, Reggie.
Hey, and Henry and Will, that's my music. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to get to y'all today, but maybe call me next week, or we're gonna have Daryl Triplett come back and join us again. He's a comedian. He's gonna be around Atlanta. Y'all go check him out. Tell him your website again, Daryl.
You can hit me up at Daryl Triplett, DarylTriplett.com.
And check him out. Check out his video. Let me know what you think about him. And here go my one for the road. If you anything like me and you got a black son who's starting to drive, you got to do what I did to my son. You tell him how to act. You tell him what to expect. You tell him where to keep his driver's license. And you tell him to keep his hands on the wheel, let the steering wheel down, turn the lights on in the car. And don't give them any reason to pull their weapon and be aggressive when they stop you. Same, we got to do that in our community to this day, but we do. So make sure you teach your kids, boys and girls, how to be approached by the police when they pull them over. Let's save their lives. Their life might be your child.
That's right. And if they don't do it, hit them in the throat.
We'll see you back here next time. It's the AutoNsider. It's News and Talk, 1380 WAOK.
This is the Auto Insider with Daryl Killian on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.